response.
Fox's Jill Nato in Washington. It is the first known military action ordered by President Biden, who had criticized former President Trump for Syrian airstrikes late in 2019. The Senate version of the coronavirus economic relief package cannot include a minimum wage increase. The Senate parliamentarian ruling because it would violate Senate rules for using the budget reconciliation process. The Senate could override that decision. The two Senate Democrats say they would vote against that. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell telling Fox's special report with Brett Baer.
I thought this was supposed to be a package about COVID relief. This is wildly more expensive, Brett, than the country needs at this particular time because the vaccines are rolling out, shots are getting into arms, the economy is getting better.
The House will vote on its version of the relief package later today with the minimum wage provision still in it. A Boeing 777 aircraft has reportedly made an emergency landing in Moscow after the flight crew reported engine trouble less than a week after a 777 engine shattered in flight over Colorado. America is listening to Fox News.
I don't know who needs to hear this.
This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning, TFR.
Good morning.
Good morning. Ding, ding, ding. Ba, 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 bow, bow, ba, 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 bow. Good morning. Ba, bow, bow, ba, 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 bow. Good morning. Ba, bow, bow, ba, 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 bow. Beautiful day. Ba, 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 bow. It's a beautiful day. Ding, ding, ding. Thank God it's Friday.
It's Friday, my dudes.
It is Friday, my dudes. And a happy Friday to you all. Welcome to the Ironworx, right here on Truth Frequency Radio. My name is Josh Corey. We got the full house this morning. That's kind of about 1, 2, 3. 3 good friends joining me this morning, starting off with one Mr. Walter Johnson, because we missed him so much on Tuesday. Walter, how you feeling? How you doing, sir?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, I'm back. I'm good. I've had a rough week for damn sure. I went from broke back over the weekend to, not the mountain, to catching the cold that Haley brought to the house here the week before. So we tried to avoid it and just finally got me. So, but I'm better. I'm back. I was out and about yesterday a bit. So glad to be here. Definitely missed you guys on Tuesday. So I don't even know what we got planned today. I'm so out of it. I'm excited though. I see somebody lurking around here. Let's get to them people.
Yes, let's say hello to Mr. Zachary Zabala. You may know him as Good Times for All here on the YouTubes. Zachary, how in the world are you doing, sir?
Hey, Josh. Hey, Walt. Hey, everybody out there in TFR land. Oh, not too bad. I slept really well. It was nice. Yeah, I fell asleep nice and early, probably like maybe 10 o'clock I was out. And I think I might have only popped up one time.
Nice.
Yeah, which is weird. Because usually I don't know. The last, I don't know how long. Since the presidential election time. I don't know what it is. It's just like there's something in the air maybe. But I have just been, not on edge, but just a little, towards the edge. I'm not centered right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure lots of people are like that right now, It's been crazy. But yeah, last night I slept well. It was nice. So yeah, I'm doing good.
Good. You deserve a good night's sleep.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, you called me handsome first thing this morning, so what can I say?
Yeah, Josh Stoll hangs handsome.
I saw Zach started the call, so I jumped in almost immediately. So I don't think he saw me actually pop into the call.
And I was like, "Oh, hi there, handsome." And Josh was like, "Oh, well, hello there." Yeah, that one kind of threw me. I was like, "Oh, somebody else is here on the call already." Okay.
Not to take away from Hank's handsomeness, because Hank is quite the handsome boy, no doubt. I pale in comparison to that of Hank. But let's say hello to Mr. Lucas King, LC King. They're on YouTube. Lucas, how are you doing, sir? How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been good. Hello, everyone. I've been pretty busy today, flat out, helping with the catering and doing those sort of things. We've got a wedding coming up, so, yep. But I'm feeling good.
Good. That's what I like to hear. And back by popular demand, last but never the least in our hearts, Mr. Jonathan from Jersey, Johnny in the Flow, somebody. We'll just call him Jonathan, I suppose, from now on until he can tell us how to properly title him. Jonathan, how in the hell are you doing this morning, sir? And he's muted. So he may not answer right away until he figures out where exactly the unmute button is. He may be stepped away for coffee. Who the world knows. But trust me, Jonathan is here. So we'll get to talk to him in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I heard him. Josh isn't telling stories or anything.
He do be here somewhere. That's all right. But we do have a little bit of space lettuce this morning. Trying to think.
Yeah, they've been hitting me with this space lettuce again. It was like they turned it off for a couple weeks. And now it's like every other news article is about space or quantum this or, yeah, it's...
They didn't want to distract from the presidential race with all their nonsense. They can't divide the nonsense at such an important time in history. They got to keep all the nonsense focused on one particular set of nonsense.
Yeah, I just heard this one. A ghost particle travels 750 million light years and ends up buried under the Antarctic ice.
Okay.
Yeah. For one, it's a ghost particle. They can't even see the damn thing. Tell that it's even there. But then they want to tell you where it came from.
And I think we are joined now by an audible and very live Jonathan from Jersey. Jonathan.
I doubt that.
Well, at least he can hear you now. You're unmuted. That helps.
Mm. How are you guys?
Pretty good, sir. How was your week been?
Don't even ask. It's been remarkable.
Too late.
It's the only word you asked. By the way, I found some Desinex. That seems to get rid of some of the itching right now for the time being. Anyway.
Yeah, steroid creams will help too. Any kind of steroid should help the inflammation and itchiness.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, typically, I think.
Yeah, I was telling, so the audience knows, I don't know if I stepped in poison ivy or sumac or what this is, but it just itches like a mother. And it hurts.
Scratch it.
I'm trying not to.
Go get some calamine lotion.
It's 5 in the fucking morning. Where am I going to go get some?
Something's open, dude. Something's open somewhere.
I'm locked in a goddamn compound. I can't fucking leave. I'm fucking in a prison here. So, sorry, I'm cursing on air.
It's all right. We curse all the time.
I'm in a safe house right now, so I can't really leave. Anyway, don't ask, don't tell, right?
I'm not sure that's what that's referring to, but okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
gates open at 8.
Oh, really? That's when the gates open? Wow. They just let people go out on their own accord. Here's the gate. Go ahead. Go through.
Well,
you're free.
You get your handy dandy little tracker first, but yeah, completely free.
You get a tracker. What kind of tracker do you get? I didn't get one.
Oh, that's what you think.
You're funny. Anyway, what's today's topic? We're doing space lettuce. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I mean, we weren't even starting it.
Okay. There's my audience. There you go. I was just telling Lucas that earlier.
I had real life ones in the backyard.
Real life crickets.
Yeah.
How big are they? They're probably the size of like small rodents. I tease you, but I'm not like. Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
No, there's no teasing about the life of the wildlife there where Lucas is. It's like a monster movie half the time when I see things like the huntsman spiders and
that's what I'm talking
giant
about.
lizards and every freaking thing.
Like in Egypt and shit, they have plagues of locusts and shit. And those things are pretty, effing big. But down under, wherever the hell that is, east, west, north, or south, it's neither here nor there. They have these giant mutated radiation, crickets that are probably the size of, like I said, wombats or some shit. Is that true or not true?
The size of a wombat. You haven't seen the wombats.
Yeah. And wombats aren't like bats. They're not like real bats. They're like, I don't even know what a wombat is, but they're real.
Yeah,
they're like chupacabra. They're like chupacabra.
Man, growing up here in South Louisiana years ago, like probably when I was 10, 12.
You had a chupacabra problem down there?
They had, they had these like locust, grasshopper things that would come through here regularly. It wasn't every 7 years. It was here almost every season. And they were at least 3 inches long and a good 1.5 inches around. Black with red marking. It looked like little demon bugs, and they were everywhere. There were so many that when you drove out to the beach where I did my videos for my channel when I first was looking at the sun, you literally were like crunch, 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 crunch all the way down the road because these things, they were everywhere. It was like a plague every season, and they would we all attributed it to all the cane that grows here with the sugar cane harvesting and all that. And then suddenly one year I came back, and they weren't here. And a few years I would notice that they weren't here. And then every now and again, I will see 1 or 3 or 2 or just a couple here and there. In fact, about 2 years ago, I guess, we went out to that same little beach area with the children and playing on little swing sets and stuff there. And they had about 3 climbing around, and they were all freaking out because they had never seen them, and they're already like 6, 7 years old.
Oh, shit.
And they had never seen them. So I don't know what happened that wiped them out or kept them from coming here, or they relocated to another area, but they were all over the place growing up, and now they're very rare. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of one of those.
Yeah, this year is supposed to be the cicada 17-year cycle, the big one.
Oh, geez.
And I actually remember the last one. I was in, it was like family reunion down at Turkey Run State Park in Indiana. And I had seen them before. You see a couple holes in the ground, and then you see these bugs, and there weren't too many of them. But this 1 year, you couldn't count the holes on the ground.
Really?
I mean, the whole ground was just covered with these little 1/4-inch size, perfect cylinder-shaped holes that just went as deep as you could see, and then they just kept going. They disappeared. But yeah, these things like burrow from down in the ground. And they're down there for years, supposedly. And then they just all come out of the ground and eat and do whatever, and then they go back down into the ground. I guess. I don't know. That's what they tell us.
Interesting.
I mean, they also told us that the Earth was round. I've never sat and watched a cicada to see where it actually goes. What if it's actually feeding the Earth? This is a food cycle for certain birds and bugs that eat them, and it keeps them alive.
Like a little virus.
They don't go.
Yeah,
they don't go back into the ground. They just keep coming out.
Very interesting.
I don't know.
Here you go, everybody. If you can see us, I'll put this in the show description picture as well. This is the little demon bugs that used to crawl all over here, and that looks like a smaller one. Let me see if I can find a bigger picture. Oh, look, that's on my screen. I'm sharing screens, but yeah, there's a different version of one. But the one I had up was like that's the ones I remember growing up with the blackness and the red markings. I mean, it was like some kind of satanic creature that came up from the depths. But yeah, they used to be everywhere here, and they're rarely found anymore.
Keep that up just a little longer, Walter. I'm actually trying to get it switched over.
Trying to share me? All right, I'll stay here talking and make my picture be on the screen.
No, I got
And there's more of them.
That looks cool as that one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some that were variants, but like the size of these things. Look, there you go. Look at that thing with the banana next to it. Freaking huge.
Wow. Hold on. Go back to the picture. Let me see.
Yeah, it's like you carry off one of your children.
It could definitely take a small child away. It definitely could. And the kid, like I said, the kids were flipping out because it was a good size one like that. It was huge. It was sitting right there on the steps going up the slide, and they were like, what is
That's
that?
not an insect. That's an animal.
That's a
Look at the size of that. Good Lord.
Right? Boil that thing, a little garlic butter. I bet you can make a meal out of that.
I was gonna say, don't you guys have
That's
like
in those protein
crawfish
bars?
boils like
Sheesh, you might have to gut that thing first.
Yeah, they're crazy. Oops, I closed it down. Sorry.
What did you just say,
trying to
Jonathan?
go to the other picture.
I said, don't you have crawfish boils like that? They're full of those.
Right now, the crawfish actually are smaller sometimes.
Yeah, but I'm saying, aren't like shrimp and everything kind of like cockroaches or like are kind of like locusts?
They're crustaceans. Whatever that tree off of the branch of actually having an external exoskeleton is, I'm sure back down the line they're related. They're definitely called mud bugs. I definitely don't eat them because
Crustaceans
they're
turned
bottom
into
feeders.
ants, right?
Sir,
in evolution, crustaceans turn into ants.
Is that what they tell us?
They have the shell on the outside.
Demons, I think, was the ultimate form.
Orange and black demons.
Right, exactly. I guess I could probably talk to one of the cane farmers around here, and they might know, the story of why these things. They may have done it. They may have been wiping out the cane, and they may have eradicated them. I just don't know, because there were a lot of years, I was living in another state and coming here to visit Dad on holidays and summers and things like that. So I missed a lot of whatever happened with them for sure, but they just suddenly weren't here anymore. But like I said, for those of you who aren't seeing the lovely demon bug, I will put the picture in the show description so you can check it out.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do if I saw like 10,000 of those things flying
everywhere.
Repent, Zach. Repent would be the best thing I could think.
I'd go out and kneel by my garden and be like, please leave them alone. Please.
Catcher's mask and a tennis racket. Come on, motherfucker.
You ain't touching my green beans, bitch. Yeah, I'm excited about gardening. I've had offers to go do some really cool stuff. Even got a really nice offer from Josh. Not that long, just today.
10 minutes ago.
Yeah. But, I mean, Travis asked me to go out to help Daryl Davis with his next harvest in April. And I got excited, and I was like, yeah, I'm going. This is going to be awesome. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, dude, I'm going to be starting my garden here, like, real soon in, like, a week. I can't leave those plants.
I didn't know you were offering. There's always a spot in Australia.
Yeah. Bring me to Australia. I'll come work your garden for you. But no, I'm so excited about it. It's been 2 years since I've had a garden that I actually, 3 years that I've actually cared for the garden and got to actually, create that bond with these plants and get that feeling again. I miss it. I really do. It's like a part of me has been set on a shelf and I can't communicate with it. It's just sitting up there. I can see it, but I can't feel it, It's weird. And it sucks, that I have to turn down all these wonderful offers, but I really want to garden. I really want to care for those plants and see them through their whole, that cycle. It's been too long. So in the fall, maybe we'll, readdress the situation, but no, I'm definitely doing my garden yeah. And I want to show Bob and Cammie how to do all the stuff and, just care for them. Once you get it down, it's real easy. It's like a child. You wash it, you feed it, you make it go to bed. There's certain things you got to do, and it grows up nice and big and strong. Well, plants are kind of the same way. Mm-hmm. You do it the right way, they grow big and strong, and they make good, healthy fruit.
It's like the old saying goes, Zach. If you roll a man a joint, he'll smoke for the night. But you teach him how to roll, and he'll smoke for life.
That's right. I like that. I've never heard that analogy. I like that one a lot better, Josh.
That's all Cottonmouth Kings. That's actually a verse from one of their songs. But it stuck with me as well. Thinking, damn, ain't that the truth? And I'm not much of a fisherman, so.
I used to fish every single day for years and years and years. And it finally dawned on me, dude, you're an asshole. You're not eating any of these fish. You're not doing this to survive. You're doing this for your own amusement, for that thrill of the catch. And then I just put them back. And then, they say, oh, well, they don't feel it when you tear a hole through their face. All right, I bought that for a while. But then you start hooking and it's in their eye or down their throat. And you go to remove this stuff and you see that fish doesn't like that. He's not digging it. This isn't enjoyable for him. So that little voice said, hey, dude, if you're not going to eat the fish, you need to quit doing this. This ain't cool. So I quit and bought a camera, and now I take pictures of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Real good.
I know how to fish.
Always.
Man, I know how to fish. I mean, to where we were making our own fishing lures out of wood, painting them, putting swivels and hooks on them, and catching fish with them.
Really? I've seen people tie flies. I've never seen anybody build lures. That's awesome.
It's so simple. I mean, you could take a stick and barely do anything to it and put some swivels and hooks on it and drag it through the water, and you'll catch a fish. It's seriously that simple. Just most people never try. But a fish, I mean, back in the day, you could have anything that just looked like something and, put a hook on it and fish will bite it. They don't know what it is. They don't go up and really inspect it greatly. They see something moving, they think food. And if it isn't way bigger than they are, they think, I'm going to go eat that thing. They see a little bit they feel it more than anything. They feel the vibration or movement in the water. And they attack. Yeah. So it's just try it. If you're a fisherman and you've never tried to make your own fishing lure, go out and do it right now. Go today. Get a little piece of wood, carve it up, throw some waterproof paint on there, a couple swivels, hooks, throw it out in the water, and just start moving that thing around and you'll catch a fish. Yeah. I mean, I did it the first time I did it, I was like 12 years old.
Sorry, I'm just setting the mood. And what happened when you were 12?
If you need to eat, don't waste your time carving up a piece of wood. Go catch a grasshopper or a worm, tie a piece of line to a limb. You don't even need a fishing rod. And throw that thing out in the water and come back a couple hours later and you'll have a fish on there ready to eat.
Yep.
That's how you catch fish if you need to eat. Doing it with the rod and the reel, it's fun doing it that way. But if you want to survive and you don't want to sit there and waste time, that's how you limb line. That's how you do it. It's that easy.
Yeah, fishing line and fishing hooks are essentials, basically.
Yep,
everywhere
they're
I
in
go.
my bug out bag for sure.
I've got one of those belts that's got the little zippers on the inside, 2 little zippers where you can stash some cash or some illicit drugs or whatever you want to stash in there. And I keep a little bit of fishing line in there and a hook in there.
Could save your life one day.
Certainly could. Seems Jonathan from Jersey decided it'd be better worth his time to go back to sleep, I think. So it seems he's disappeared on us.
Oh, have we lost him?
Yeah, well, I think he was dealing with something with his feet or something.
Yeah.
So he might have been trying to fix them.
Yeah, he could have been extra itchy and hard to concentrate and do what you need to do when your feet are on fire. So I can appreciate that. Well, there's only about 3 minutes left of this first segment already. We've managed to bumble our way through 30 minutes of nothing. But there was an interesting story that...
Oh, sorry, Josh.
I just wanted to say, full disclosure, I haven't read it yet. Just want to put that out there. But apparently there was a secret message on the parachute of the Endeavor. Is that what it was? And the geniuses out there in the interwebs have managed to break the code and decipher the message. So I have no idea what the secret message is.
Oh, I was just saying, what were we trying to tell the little green men? Or are they red on Mars? I can't remember.
Well, we'll have to take a look. Let's see here. Well, look, you put the same story in there.
Hey, I saw the story. I'm just like you, though. I saw it. It was interesting. Not enough to read it because I pretty much know it's bullshit. But I thought they might like to get a laugh out of it.
Yeah, let's see what. I'll just open yours up. Only about 6 people at the space agency knew about the encoded message before the rover's landing on Mars. A puzzle lover on the team was behind the idea. The enormous orange and white parachute deployed by NASA's Perseverance rover to land on Mars contained a secret message, thanks to puzzle lover on the spacecraft team. Systems engineers Ian Clark used a binary code to spell out "Dare Mighty Things," a line from former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt in the orange and white strips of the 70-foot, 21-meter parachute. He also included the GPS coordinates for the mission's headquarters at the JPL in Pasadena, California. Well, that's something.
Well, that was, less than impressive. Oh, well, I was hoping it would be more exciting than that, We come in peace, take us to your leader, the classics.
The earth is flat.
The earth is flat, right, the classics. Exactly.
Flat Mars Society.
Oh, man. Well, I did see one headline. I didn't even drop that story, but the headline I should have grabbed it just for the headline. Essentially, the new Mars landing footage is like watching a science fiction movie. I'm like, yeah, it kind of is.
Sure is. All sorts of ways.
I'm going to find that one. It was too good. I think it's still on my morning feed here. Oh, wow. We're about to hit old breaks.
We surely are.
Well, let's do that.
Let's. All right, we have tuned into the Ironworx. That is the first segment out of the way. Second half of the first hour coming up right after these briefest of messages while we let TFR pay some bills. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Discover the extraordinary powers of intuitive healing with pain transmutation, a method of holistic healing for the human soul, body, mind, and emotions. If you are looking for answers and a deep understanding of how to help yourself and the people around you to live a happier, healthier life, this is the right place for you. Learn how to read your soul's history in the Akashic Records. Remove negative energy attachments from your astral body, and start the process of inner and outer pain transmutation. Join Pain Transmutation Community to get started on the path of intuitive healing. Change your energetic state, manifest new and exciting experiences, re-energize your life, and build inspiring connections with others in our community.
Hey folks, guess what the #1 phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea. We love this tea. Time after time, week after week, we love this tea. Life Change Tea gives you more energy, a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
Hey everyone, it's Mark Sargent from Strange World, broadcasting live every Tuesday evening, 10 to 12 Eastern, 7 to 9 Pacific, right here on True Frequency Radio. Strange World covers a wide range of topics, from enclosed world theory to lunar waves to the end of the world in film. It's basically doomsday with a silver lining. With the audience as my co-host, we take an optimistic approach to all things conspiracy and promote confidence, hope, and humor whenever possible. If there's a topic you want us to cover or a guest you would like to see interviewed, please email me at msargent23@comcast.net. So please join me and tell your friends about Truth Frequency Radio, the leader in real radio programming, bringing you quality, cutting-edge broadcasts from around the world.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
No hate, no hype, no fear. Real people, real radio.
The iron you need to get what you want.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on The Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
And welcome back. So I see Liz in chat asking what happened with our main channel. And I do believe that we are banned from live streaming for a few months.
Yeah. Well, that's what I originally thought I read, and then you told me it was like a week, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. And then I see that it's not. So,
I know I read somewhere that it was a week.
Yeah. Well,
a few months. That's a fair while, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty ridiculous myself when I read it.
For just that one thing. Well, speaking about Facebook and YouTube and all them, there's a little article that Cami sent us. And it says, Facebook apologizes for mistake in threatening to ban 81-year-old woolen pig knitter for hate speech. So basically, this lady was knitting woolen pigs, and she was putting. She used the terms white pigs and high vis pigs. So they were removing her Facebook posts. Far out.
Shows just how lazy Facebook is. As lazy as YouTube is, where they just say, F it, we'll just let the algorithms deal with it. How wrong can they be?
It just shows how snowflake they want everybody to be.
The parameters they need to set up.
When there's a lady actually talking about, pigs.
Woolen pigs.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Actual pig. And her describing them is offensive to some people.
Yeah, well, it's just, they've got these algorithms or bots set up to actually search for it too. So it's amazing.
White pig is offensive, right? It's not an actual
to who
pig. It goes oink oink that happens to be a little pigment deficient in its skin. No. It must mean you're talking about cops. Pig means cop, don't you know? So because pig means a cop, if you say pig talking about cops, we'll ban you because that's what pig means.
What is this, 1990s rap? I haven't heard people call them pigs in a while.
I have.
I have too.
Yeah, you'll hear an older guy, But a lot of these young First Amendment auditors, they don't call them pigs ever.
On occasion, I've heard them. Well, I don't know how young the auditor was, because they have some old auditors out there too.
Yeah, I mean, Big Nick, I've heard him call them pigs and stuff like that. But that guy's older than I am.
And he's big.
Yeah, yeah, he can say whatever he wants, really. Yeah, I wanted to mention this on one of the shows. The First Amendment auditors out there, it's working. If you watch videos from 3-4 years ago of people doing this, you can watch 100, and none of the cops know the law, or if they do, they will never admit it. That you have these rights. And you watch videos nowadays, a lot of these people come up and the cops, hey, everything you're doing here is perfectly fine. I'm going to go let them know. You guys have a nice day. I've been seeing a lot more of those interactions. Not, hey, what's your name? I need to identify you. You still have those idiots. They want you not to come on their property. So if you do, it'll be trespassing, and I need your identity because of that. So there's still the cops out there that go fishing and hope that you don't know your rights, and they're gonna, it's like a game to them. All they want to do is run your name. That's all they want to do.
Mm-hmm. Can I escalate this into a felony arrest?
Yeah,
that'll
that's
look
all
really good in my jacket on my boss's desk if I can get a felony arrest out of this traffic stop. So all I need is your name.
And I wouldn't doubt if they get not so much reprimanded, on paper, but they get an earful when they come back and the report does not have the name on it. This person's name. Who was that person? Well, they said they didn't want to give their name. Well, that's not okay. You have to get their information. That's almost what it sounds like coming from the police, especially, a few years ago. Like, I don't care what the laws are. You get their name. You get them to give you your name. You tell them whatever you need to. You get their name and run it and see if you can't, get them somehow.
Well, it's worse than that. They're also, they want your name when you go into a supermarket or you visit the town hall or whatever it is that you're visiting, but they have all these little stations set up for, write your name on there when you're signed in. And so, yeah, they're sort of getting people used to that, handing out a piece of their identity as they go into something or go into a building or, come across, a policeman, and next minute will be a security guard, and next minute will be just the guy at the front of the supermarket. So I think it's just a process.
Zach, did you catch that latest one from Amagansett Press?
Yeah, that was great.
With the cop, the constitutionalist, that was out there just laying it down for that snowflake lady in the hot pants.
Yeah, he's like, they're well within their rights. I mean, it may have hurt your feelings, offended you some way, but there's nothing,
The way the Constitution reads, he says.
Yeah.
The way he walked up, I was thoroughly impressed. It almost brought a tear to my eye watching this cop handle himself. Like, look, I'm a constitutionalist. It's whatever. You're out here filming. You're not bothering anybody. It's whatever.
Yep. Never asked their names. Nothing.
Nope. He said, well, they're probably not going to give it to you.
Yep. He's like, you can ask. But they're not going to give it to you. Yeah, it's slowly happening. This is how you get change in a grassroots way. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a year. It takes time. And there are people out there putting in the time. And I have nothing but respect for these people out here doing this. Not that I agree with all of their methods. Some of them I think they could handle themselves a little differently. But hey, to each their own, As long as you're out there educating people on their rights, because that's what it really comes down to. The cops, they know your rights, but it is okay for it's okay for cops to lie to you to get information out of you.
Mm-hmm.
That is not against their laws. They can say that somebody called in and said that they were complaining about you with no call. They can do that. But you have to know your rights to say, well, that doesn't matter to me. You wanting to know my information does not in any way require me to give it to you.
And I'll gladly take that call number for a follow-up FOIA request.
Yeah, exactly.
I really want to hear that call, the person that called in.
Most cops won't stop just by you saying no. You have to really, put your foot down with some of these guys and say, hey, if you want my information, you're going to have to arrest me. So you do what you have to do. I'm done talking. I'm pleading the Fifth. In fact, I'd like to implement the Sixth Amendment now, and you need to contact a lawyer because I'm not answering any more questions until I have a lawyer present. You start saying things like that, and then they start being like, all right, we're not going to get anywhere with this guy. Have a nice day, sir. That's what it turns into eventually. But they will. They can lie to you. It's not against their laws, their policies, And it's kind of starting to change. It really is. I mean, there's still a lot of cops that do the fishing, but they give up real quick now. They know when someone knows their rights. And the sad part is the people don't know their rights. Most of the time, it's people saying, you can't film me without my permission.
Mm-hmm.
Where did this come from?
The television.
The television, exactly.
They saw it on TV.
Yep. They don't think about the paparazzi or the news reporters out there by the guy that just got, 50 years in life or to life for molesting kids. You think he wants his picture in the paper? You think he wants people taking his picture while he's out in public? Hell no, he doesn't. But he has no right to privacy in public. That's just how it works. I don't care if you're walking down the street naked, running because, someone stole your clothes. You still have no right to privacy. You don't. It sucks in certain situations, but that's how it is.
Yep, it's a great lesson on consent. Oh, you've consented to be on my video because you're here in public. You've already consented. If you don't want to be here, if you withdraw your consent, go into private. Go somewhere where I can't see you.
Yeah, you have to create privacy. People can stand outside your house from the public road and take pictures through your windows, and it is perfectly legal. You have to create privacy if you want it. Police in their unauthorized zones, where you have to be a police officer to go there. If they don't want you taking pictures of their private lots, then they have to put up, a privacy fence. You can stand next to unauthorized zones, and if you can see in there, you can take pictures of everything in there. Anything your eyes can see from public cannot be trespassed. You can't be in trouble for taking pictures of something you can see from public.
Can't trespass the eyes.
Yeah, as of 2018, it also is federal buildings, military installations. There was the act, DHS memo, I think it was 2010, they wrote it, where certain installations weren't allowed to be photographed. We gotta defend from all the terrorists. And 2018, they decided, hey, look, we haven't had a terrorist attack here in a while, and people are complaining about this. It's time to give these people their right back, this right back. And I think a lot of people have not gotten the memo. They're just passed that one over.
Or they figured out they got drones, and what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, those the post office ones are the ones that really boggle my mind, because the post office takes it upon themselves to actually put their rules and regulations right there on the wall. It's not as though it's a secret or the employees can't find out. They're posted. These are the rules and regulations within federal installations. These are the things you can and cannot do. And there is one specific section dedicated specifically to photograph and video, and how you can absolutely, on federal property, within federal buildings, within the lobbies, foyers, hallways, common areas open to the public, record and take pictures for news and advertisement purposes. This according to their poster 7, which they have to post on their wall. And even then, after the employee gets butthurt and the auditor shows them their very own rules right there on their very own wall, they still don't get it. They still don't get it.
You still gotta leave. I didn't give you my consent. It's like, oh my goodness.
Or then the cops come and try to change the meaning of the poster, put their own little spin on the way it's worded. Well, here's what it means.
Well, show me your press pass.
That's a good one.
Where's your credentials? Does anybody know who gives out press passes? You could write your own in a crayon, and it would be just as legitimate as anything that CNN wears or Fox or any of those people. There is no federal anything that issues press passes. There isn't one. Freedom of the press. You have the freedom to be the press. Everybody does. It's a right. At least here in the US, anybody can be the press. You have the right to go out in public and record and file grievances and, let the public know what you know. You have that right. Everybody does. There is no, well, you don't have a press pass. Now, to get in, to certain events and this and that are behind private doors, like a concert or this or that, you can't just go up with a press pass with a crayon on it. They're probably not going to let you in. But if you have one that's, so-and-so rock, blah, 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 they might just be like, yeah, you come on backstage and do interviews or blah, blah, blah. If you're an accredited thing, But everybody has the right to be the press. Everybody. And a lot of people don't know that.
So I know through Roku and Fire Stick and the Android televisions, you can download the Activism News Now app. But there's been a group of auditors, First Amendment auditors, that have joined together to create an actual news organization that you can find on TV and check out some of their stuff. So definitely check out Activism News Network on those particular platforms. I'd be curious as to see where they're headed, what they've got planned. I would really like to get at least one of them on. The way I understand it, I do believe this was started by Rogue Nation, who is one of my favorite auditors.
Love that guy. Power does what it wants. Power does what it wants. Power does what it wants. Sorry. That's the beginning of all his videos. Yeah, he's one of those that goes out there and handles himself well, I think. He doesn't get too lippy until he starts getting some shit. He's kind of like an Amagansett Press almost. If you're nice and cordial, you'll have a great conversation. Everybody will go home happy. But if you come up with some lip, you're going to get some lip and more back.
Yeah. Enlightened Dawn mentioned press on there in chat. And that's where she learned that anyone can go out and be the press. And that's a guy that can flip a switch. He will live right there in that First Amendment. He will stand right there on that First Amendment. And as long as the public official is behaving themselves, he does okay. But if he decides he needs to throw a protest, he will just stop what he's doing and throw a protest. He'll stand there and yell and scream and protest. He's really philosophical in his camera work and the things that he chooses and the conversations that he has. I don't think for him this is about necessarily, making money or getting a message out there. It seems to be this is the way he lives his life. This is sort of who he is. He is one of the people. He's not going to be a person. He's not going to be a name. It's not nice to call people names. He's just one of the people. And that gives him all the rights that he needs. So yeah, sometimes he can be a little obnoxious, not for nothing, but for the most part, it's a philosophical lesson. And he'll catch cops in coffee shops at a Starbucks or something late at night and go in there and walk up to them and just start talking to them and have these conversations. And watching these cops hair bristle when he tells them, look, you don't have any rights. At best, you get privileges, but you don't have any rights. You don't have the right to do anything. And watch him get all butthurt and bent out of shape. And while he calmly explains that you have to wear your name tag, you don't get the right to free expression, the right to free speech. You don't have these rights. You don't have any rights. Even off duty, there's things you can and cannot do because you don't have any rights. You only have privileges because you chose to be a police officer.
Yeah, you gave up your rights.
Mm-hmm.
You are now a sovereign citizen. But they can lose their immunity too. That's one of the things that's been happening a lot. And that seems to be one of the things that gets a lot of these younger officers to call their sergeant. When you mention that, you're going to lose your immunity if you place me under arrest. Because they know what that means.
Yeah, they can claim ignorance. And that's
but they know. Yeah.
Once you tell them, like, look, here's the way it is. And once you start to violate it from here on out, I don't know that you necessarily have the protection of your qualified immunity. Saying, well, I didn't know. I can't be expected to know everything. And I think that's a lot what that qualified immunity is for and why you have to bond and insure police officers because they can't know everything. They're only human. Humans make mistakes, whatever. They have bad days, whatever. So you have to insure them against the things that they might accidentally do against the public should they get sued. Basically, this is the financial coverage of that. Cop gets drunk on the job and drives through 14 lanes of traffic, killing 7 people. Now his bond has to pay for that. Things like that. And that's a good way to go against the police if you can make it happen. But going after those bonds will make a person unemployable in the public sector. If those bonds are too outrageous, no city's going to want to hire him. No city manager is going to try to justify the expense of that outrageous bond because this public employee can't seem to figure out how to play by the rules. So if you can go after those bonds, that's a great way to do it. But sometimes that can be a little difficult.
Yeah, they're long processes. It's not even just fighting for your rights after they've been violated. It may be 2 years before you stand before a judge. You know, it's not something that happens in a month or 2 months, or especially if it's the police that are under investigation, for some reason it takes forever. In a lot of cases, some cases, the city will act rather quickly and be like, hey, we need to get this person off the streets. I mean, they got rid of a chief of police. I think that was out in New Mexico. And it took only like 6 months. So, I mean, it does happen. But yeah, a lot of times you're not going to win on that day, or anytime soon. When you have these altercations that go south with the police, it's going to be a bad day for you. You're probably going to spend the night in jail. It's going to suck. When you get out, it's going to suck for a while still. You might get harassed, this or that. That might happen. But you're not going to see any money for quite some time. It's not like you don't have a right to a speedy trial here. You're not the one being convicted. And gee, so much of always have a video recorder with you. I know the cops are supposed to have cameras and this and that, but a lot of times that camera stuff disappears. I was watching one with this one cop. He had the evidence in his girlfriend's basement for like 2 years, never turned in the video. And then they found it 2 years later. So yeah, I mean, cops are people, there will be ones out there that do a lot of bad stuff and try to hide it. They're no different than any other human. So don't, if you do want to become a First Amendment auditor, know that it could be a bad day. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you may not break any laws, do nothing wrong, but you may still end up in jail. It happens still.
Yeah, this change has not come without sacrifice, without lawsuits and hospitals and a lot of dangerous situations.
Lives.
Yep. Well, I think that's going to kill it for the first hour. I do believe I hear some break music. Stick around for hour number 2 of the Ironworks right after this. That's very quiet break music.
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
The U.S. bombs targets in Syria. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. The U.S. military carrying out an airstrike near Syria's border with Iraq. targeting Shia militia groups believed responsible for recent rocket attacks on American military personnel in the region. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says he supported the strike.
It was my recommendation. We said a number of times, we will respond on our timeline.
Reuters, quoting local medical sources in Syria, is saying 17 people were killed in the airstrike. Meanwhile, the Saudi-led coalition fighting in Yemen says it has intercepted and destroyed an explosive-laden drone launched by Iranian-backed Houthi rebels toward Saudi Arabia. The president's coronavirus relief package apparently will not include a hike in the minimum wage, at least not in the Senate's version, after a decision from the Senate's parliamentarians.
Senate parliamentarian Elizabeth McDonough arguing that increasing that wage as part of the $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief bill doesn't comply with budget rules. In a statement posted via Twitter, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders said that because of the archaic and undemocratic rules of the Senate, we are unable to move forward to end starvation wages in this country and raise the income of 32 million struggling Americans. Lindsey Graham said this decision actually reinforces reconciliation cannot be used as a vehicle to pass major legislation change by either party on a simple majority vote.
Fox's Kevin Corke, the House scheduled to vote on the relief package today, including the minimum wage hike. Costco says it will increase its starting wage to $16 an hour next week, surpassing most of its main competitors after the Dow plunged 560 points on Thursday and NASDAQ dropped 478. Asian stock markets closing Friday lower, and overnight Dow futures are in the red. America is listening to Fox News.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
We are TFR. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning. Here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, I'm afraid of course, there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
Yep. And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Ironworks. Man, the last half of that last segment was just pure audit talk, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. We kind of shut Lucas and Walt out there.
No, I was wrapped up. I was really digging it. And it's stuff people definitely need to know because, there's some definitely over-empowered people with some bad intentions out there that need to be brought to, attention to everybody else. So, yeah, I've kind of started watching a few here and there too. You guys got me pumped up about it. It's cool. And you definitely know more about it than I do. So I'll defer to you guys for sure.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I was just kicking back, listening to you guys, trying to gain a little bit of knowledge. It's not something that I know a huge amount about. So
I saw our buddy Hori in chat there saying he's used some of the information from those videos in real life himself. So it definitely is something people should have, under their belt for damn sure.
Yeah, apparently Hori was sticking flat earth cards in the gas pumps at Circle K and ended up getting trespassed from Circle K. Yeah, well, have it.
It should be taught in school, our rights.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
I mean, these are the things that we should be educating our children on. In school, in government class, what do they learn? I learned how to file, go down to the DMV and do your taxes and keep your checking account. I mean, they had things about your checking account in government class, at least my government class.
Hell, you're lucky to get a government class.
We didn't cover First Amendment rights. I had my government teacher actually try to infringe upon my First Amendment right at school. I had a shirt with an American flag sewn on it. And I didn't like my government teacher. And I did this especially for her. I unsewed that flag and turned it upside down and sewed it back on. And I had her first hour, and I walked in there, my chest sticking out nice and big and proud. And she tried to take me down. She took me down to the office and told me I had to take that shirt off. That was disrespectful and disgraceful. I was like, okay, which one of the school codes does this violate? Which one of those school policies does this violate? Because I have freedom of speech. So there's no vulgarity, there's no profanity, there's no nudity. Which one of the rules did I break? And the principal was like, you're absolutely right. You haven't broken any of them. And I asked her right there in front of her, I was like, do you know what an upside down flag means? Government teacher. I didn't say government teacher, but oh, you're just being disrespectful. No, it means that this place that we're in is under distress, that we have been infiltrated and are being overrun and we need help. That's what an upside down American flag means. And you should know that. And we didn't get along after that at all. I mean, we didn't get along before that really, but she really knew that I did not like her after that. Yeah, I walked back into class with my shirt on. Oh, she was so mad. Like every 5 seconds, she would just turn and stare at me for a second. But yeah, you have these rights, and they don't teach you this stuff in school. I was the teacher that day in school, you know? Yeah, it's sad. It really is. The things that should be being taught to our children are not. So it's up to you to educate your children.
Well, it's a prime example of what they teach in government class. Why the government is daddy, why you should obey authority and just do what the fuck you're told. Which is what they teach in government class. And the proof of that is the teacher. Say, look, I'm telling you it's offensive. You need to take it off. Well, that's not quite how it works around here. If you'd have known that I don't necessarily have to obey authority because authority says so, that I do have my own rights, then you start to question things. Then you have the ability to make decisions for yourself. And that undermines authority. Independent thinking undermines authority. So they don't teach it. You're not allowed to practice critical thinking. Because pretty soon you will question those in charge. And there goes all the power that we give them. Our silent acquiescence. That's where the consent comes from. The fact that we're not asking more questions. We're not demanding more. We're not demanding better from those whom we pay to take care of the things we need them to take care of. I don't try to get too, political in so much as that I'm pretty apolitical. But man, the stuff going on these days in politics is absolutely nutty. Nutty.
It's beyond Twilight Zone. It really is. I almost blame it on fluoride. I really do. I don't
Man, I'm sorry.
comprehend. No, go ahead, Walt.
No, when you said that, the acquiescence, it reminded me of an amazing song I'm trying to dig up right now that I'm going to share with everybody. We're not going to play it. I'm tired of fighting copyright crap, but it really speaks to this whole thing. It's called The Silent Acquiescence of Millions by a little band called Cinch. They were very underground, very unknown. Freaking amazing band. Great, great band. Should have gone a lot farther than they did. Yeah, there it is. I'll drop it in chat here in a minute.
Dixie's been listening to some Tom McDonald, who I'd heard before, but I guess has come off of his record label and is now producing his own music.
Good for him.
Well, the difference between the two is night and day. I mean, the stuff on the label was so commercial.
Yeah, poppy.
It wasn't poppy. It was just kind of the whole gangster rap lifestyle, right? The money and the name brands and just what you expect when you think to hear mainstream sort of rap, color by number rappers. You know, if you look at all the tattoos on their faces, they just look like a coloring book. But after he broke free of that label, the music he's putting out now, it's not bad. I mean, it's not necessarily amongst my top rap that I like, but at least what he's got now has a message. His lyrics have some meat to them. It's not just this mainstream bullshit that everybody else.
I'm gonna go get laid. I'm gonna shoot somebody. I'm gonna make money and wear all the fancy clothes and drive the fancy cars. Yeah, it's not that.
That's what's been so distressing about this whole thing for me is like you have all these musicians and bands and things, and where are they? What are they saying? Are they? They're not doing anything. Not that I've heard. So yeah, it's like
the video with this. Sorry, Lucas. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, there was one band in particular, Australian band. You know, they're singing anti-government or stuff like that, and then all this stuff happens. It's like, why don't you release a song? Shouldn't you be upset? You know, you've spoken about it before. Where are you now? And you get this with a lot of. I haven't heard anything from these bands that have stuck it to the man or tried to raise awareness. Yeah, you sent me that one.
Yeah, just one. Yeah, with the zombies and the masks, and that was. I couldn't believe that they actually made it. It was so in your face. And it's not like they were huge, but they're pretty well known. You know, they get millions of views on their videos. And that video was just like, wow, that was powerful. I mean, I had chills at the end, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was good. I mean, there should have been 20, 30, 40, like that, and with, 1 million views each circulating around. But maybe these labels have more control over these bands than previously thought.
Well, yeah, if the videos were out there, if they were allowed to make them, they would have the views, guaranteed. But that's not the message that certain people want to put out, and these certain people own the record labels or the conglomerate that owns the record label, So people lower down the chain have to follow the commands. I mean, when every single news agency is reading the same paragraph word for word, something's wrong. When people see that and they don't wake up, I may still love that person, but that's not really a person to me anymore. I know that's horrible to say, but they're not alive. They're not living. If that's a way to put it, not.
They're plugged in.
Yeah, they are not using their God-given senses to think logically and critically, like ever. When you show them something that blatant and obvious and in your face, and they just gloss over and be like, well, what's on the next channel? Yeah. I mean, you can love that person, but don't expect them to come around anytime soon to this stuff. It's weird. It's like there is like this veil pulled over these people's eyes. They're under a spell. I've done it. I've showed the Bill Gates talking about population control and vaccination to family members 5 times. And every time I show them, it's like they are seeing it for the very first time, and they defend it. Yeah, I don't say I give up hope or anything like that, but I tend to not focus on them so much when it comes to these things. I put them on the shelf that says they're not going to wake up anytime soon. Speaking about this is going to cause a disturbance more than it's going to help.
Right. And it's sad and unfortunate and definitely something that we all deal with. I had to attend a funeral this week. My stepmother passed, and just sitting around to, talking to people I haven't talked to in years and hearing them discussing things, kind of, staying around the outside of conversations and just hearing just the acceptance and the silent acquiescence. It's just saddening and disheartening. And then I come back here and I see all you amazing woke up folks, and it makes me go, yes, we got this thing. They may not be awake and aware, but the rest of us are pulling this fucking load as hard as we can. So
that's all we can do. I pray. I do. I pray every day that one of these days, my family members are going to hear it from somebody else besides me, that they really put a lot of stock into every word that these people say. That one of their close friends or something is going to catch on to all this and tell them, hey, you need to look into this. And I don't want an apology or a you were right, and I want them to be free. That's it. Even if it were I never get to speak to these people again, but they're free and awake and living life how they should, I would not gladly, very sadly, give up that time with them so they could be free. If that's what it took, me to go away and never come back, then I would do it. It's that important. My rant's over. I'm done. Sorry, I didn't mean to pull the show there.
No, it's everybody in chat's kind of feeling the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's part of what this whole, whatever the fuck this is, culling, I don't know what it is, but definitely it's part of it. This complete separation from those who have a clue to those who are completely lost. And we're definitely not ever trying to say we have it all figured out. We just know what the fuck they're telling us is utter, complete bullshit designed to keep us down. And that's, if you can't feel that and know that just from experiencing it, me pointing and showing videos and all that shit really hasn't done much, except for people who are already really ready to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's that whole fucking spiel of you can lead a man to flat earth, you cannot make him fall off the ball. And it's unfortunate. But that being said, I have had a friend this last week contact me that I haven't talked to in a while. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. We're going to have some conversation and see what goes on. I know at one point he was quite aware and awake, but it's been probably 15, 20 years since we've hung out. He moved to another state a long time ago. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not giving up. But I just know that railing against the wall sometimes it just winds up with a headache beating your head on it. So,
well, I've been flicking a few little flat Earth videos around to sort of acquaintances that I've met just to see if I get a reaction, just like flick through the phone, who haven't I talked to for, a year or whatever it is. And, oh, yeah, but yeah, enjoy your flat earth video. Chink. That's always good. So just you never know, you might get a bite.
Exactly. Oh, I dropped a few little hints and comments about our show. Oh, what are you doing? Oh yeah, here, check it out. We'll see if they ever do click the link. But yeah, yeah, we'll see. We will see. We actually at one point were talking about Jerry Marzinski, so it did get deep. It did get deep with a couple of people. But
God, I want to get him back on.
I know.
I
right?
really like Jerry, even if we
too.
didn't. Even if it was just to hang out and just shoot the shit with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is a cool guy.
Yeah, definitely a warrior for sure.
Yeah, I would love to get him back on, and maybe his buddy who did the visual side of schizophrenia.
Right.
Yeah, if you guys haven't heard of, or done any real research on schizophrenia, Jerry Marzinski, he has a book. I forget what it's called. I feel horrible now. But he, it's medicine, They're taught to convince these people that the voices aren't real and to try to ignore them.
An amazing journey into the psychotic mind. No, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. It broke the chain. I hit his name and the link went a different way. Oh, there it is. An amazing, it completely broke. Okay. An amazing journey into the psychotic mind, breaking the spell of the Ivory Tower. I knew it was longer than what I was saying, and when I clicked to the other one, it all went away. But it's Jerry Marzinski and Sherry Sweeney. We definitely
he would talk to them about their voices, and he found out that these voices are not coming from these people. And if you didn't know, schizophrenics don't hear like me talking to you. It's that voice inside their head. Actually, we're all schizophrenic.
Exactly.
I mean, these voices attack everybody. You have that crazy thought where you're driving down the highway and all of a sudden the little voice in your head says, hey, run over into the other lane and smash into that car. And you're like, what? I'm not going to do that. That's insane. Why did I think that? What made me think of doing that? What was that? That's them. They were fishing.
Well, Zach, the voice inside my head says I'm not schizophrenic.
You're safe, then. You're cool. You're good.
Yeah, I'm safe. Yeah.
It was pretty funny, the conversation that got this started. We were talking about like this is all step family on my stepmother's side, and talking about one of these old aunts that I had heard stories about, but she had passed before we got into that family. But she was just a legend on how terrible she would treat people, how bad she would act with kids, and just a mean-spirited person and all this stuff. Apparently, a new preacher had hit the area and was going around with, a local guy to kind of meet his congregation. And her house was the first one they stopped at, and literally knocked on the door. She opened the door, and the preacher said, I cast you out, Satan, and just started like casting demons out of her. And she hadn't even said a word to him yet. He instantly picked up on it. And that's, of course, what started the conversation about Jerry. It was too funny.
I cast you out, Satan.
I mean, she didn't say boo yet, and he knew instantly. He could feel it.
Oh, man. It's a wild world, isn't it?
It definitely is. It definitely is.
I don't know if I could actually handle the whole truth. Like they say you can't handle the truth. I don't know how far from being true that is. I mean, I don't know, what's out there and all. If you really knew everything, I don't know. I don't know what I would do until you actually know, I guess. But I'm almost certain there's, things out there that you don't want to know about. You just don't. You don't want to know they exist.
But at some level, don't we know? At some level that if, we're creating this place, we're creating this reality, we're creating the vibration, the frequency, the sound, the voice, all of that, then we have to know. We can't create this thing that we don't know about if that's what we're doing. If we are the creators of this reality that we're in, then we have to know it. We have to know all those dark, secret, terrible freaking things in the dark. Because somebody had to put them there. If at the ultimate level, not above this one, maybe not even above the next one, but somewhere out there in a different level of us. Man, this is all going completely south, me trying to make this make sense. Lord, I'll shut up and let this commercial save me. Oh, it's not here yet. I got to ramble. I thought we were close. It felt close.
No, we still got a couple minutes.
And then I choked and coughed. Sorry.
Well, it's like if you start a book and you read the first couple pages, you don't want to necessarily just like skip to the end and read the last couple pages so you know how it ends.
Right. There you go. That's good. That's good.
Or you don't want to, fall asleep for the last part of the book.
Right.
Right. It'll never really make sense. Got to finish it at least. But it's like...
Yeah, my mom, when a book is crap, she doesn't like the way the author writes or whatnot, she'll read the first couple chapters and she just jumps to that back of the end, see if she should even keep reading. She'll read the last chapter and be like, yeah, I know what happens.
Well,
next.
If we were all bestowed the ultimate truth of what God is and reality is and what happens when you die, all the great mysteries of life, if we were just given all that knowledge to understand how it all works, I don't think it makes sense to us. You have to follow a process. It doesn't have to be the same process for everybody, but a process is needed. You have to take the information in increments, because if you were to skip the increments and get to the end, there's no context for it. You have to be able to build the context around it for it to make sense. It's like the same way with the damn Freemasons, That's the reason they do it in degrees, because you can't just drop all that truth at once. You have to make sure they understand the little bit of truth in the increments that they get and make sure then they're worthy to be bestowed upon the future truths. Because if you just tell them what happens in the 32nd degree when they're in the first degree, they're going to go screaming out the front door, as they should. But the fact is, to get them there, they have to do it in increments. Otherwise, it doesn't really make any sense. So I don't think they would be able to handle the ultimate truth. If we were given it, we wouldn't recognize it. We wouldn't have the context in which to be able to make it make sense. It would be so foreign, it would be like trying to read another language that we've never seen before.
Exploding heads everywhere is how Allison puts it.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that. So it's just like an adult trying to explain, geopolitics to a child. They have no context for it. So brilliant. Yeah, you summed it up well.
I'm pretty sure that's break music I hear. So right there at the 2-minute mark. Awesome. Well, stick around. We've got the fourth and final segment of the Ironworx coming up right after this. What a Friday morning.
Final segment.
Extendivite, a 7-herb combination made from garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle. Extendivite feeds our body with the right nutrients to keep us healthy. Just listen to what Arthur has to say.
I was just calling to tell you what a great product you have. I had used this about 10 years ago after I had congestive heart failure. And it fixed me up and got me going for the last 10 years. Lately, I've been having heart trouble again. So I placed another order because this was the only thing that ever worked. I just wanted to let you know that you have a great product.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
For 5,000 years, the world was ruled with wooden ships by one man. 242 years ago, a small group of free men crafted a new nation built on liberty and freedom. Global elites have been fighting to destroy this new nation called America ever since. Based on actual events, Charm of Favor tells a true story of how they corrupted the election system. They infiltrated federal agencies and murdered witnesses, judges, and even presidents to keep from being caught. Now, the largest and wealthiest crime syndicate the world has ever known has been drawn out of the shadows. They have killed hundreds of Americans and recently attempted to assassinate half our congressmen. Still, they escape arrest through an almost supernatural charm of favor. Read Charm of Favor and be prepared to open your eyes to what may lie just around the corner. Charm of Favor is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
You're listening to Truth Frequency Radio.
We are TFR.
Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are the way. We are the way. We are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset, start taking iron today.
Sleep well, Candy. Have yourself a great Friday. Thanks for hanging out. Wish I'd have known you were in the chat earlier. We'd have said hi. Love you, miss you. Hope you're doing well. Tell the family we said hello. Shout out to Ispy Nasalies.
Absolutely. And everybody else there in chat. For sure, you guys have kept me so enwrapped that I lost the thread and had no clue we were already at the last segment. So, hey, good morning, Friday.
Good morning, Friday.
Just a real quick call back to that last segment before we move on too far. Robert Page in chat said, I don't know if I subscribe to the we can't handle the truth philosophy. Maybe some can't, maybe some can. Just like how everyone reacts to medicine, drugs, alcohol differently, maybe the same with the truth. Absolutely. I think that definitely pertains to the idea of self-work, self-growth, self-path, self-intent, what you've done to get ready for it. Sitting around playing video games and watching TV, probably not the best path for enlightenment, but doing the great work, doing the big work, and trying to get through some of this bullshit to some inkling of what's going on will definitely prepare people for that truth. But someone whose brain is just mired in the bullshit, well, you've done it. We've done it. How many times have you brought it to a friend, to a family member, to someone that has known and trusted and loved you your whole life until you bring them something they can't deal with? And then suddenly either they're out of your life or you're a weirdo or shit's crazy or, you know, it just isn't going to hit the person if they're not ready for it. It's just happened too many times to me. Personally,
for you,
and that's, you know, for me, exactly, James. Oh man, but you know, who knows? It could be one of those trial by fires, throw them in the deep end and hope they swim kind of things. That could be the way to do it. Burn out the bullshit all in one go. I'm like Allison. I just see a bunch of exploding heads everywhere with that one.
Don't mind me just getting my coffee. So it seems
and
like
I'm just lost in chat again. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm trying to find the website for Solar Return. I wanted to drop it in there and talk about it just for a
Yeah,
sec.
that's good.
Coming up
That's
here.
coming up, isn't it?
Would you send that to me, Cammy, so I can, or would you share it in chat? Okay, Cammy is going to be.
I'm stupid.
Okay, so she's going to send it to me instead, but I'll be sharing it in chat. Yeah, March 27th, Greenville, South Carolina, at the Shriner Center there, where Karen B will be hosting the Solar Return Festival. It is a flat Earth arts and music festival. I know there are going to be at least one presentation for sure. Up on stage. Cammy just put in chat a thing to where you can get tickets. If you use the event code 1111, you get the special Flat Earther discount. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. Children under 12 come for free. They have the park, the 26th as well, the Friday, across from the Shriner Center. It's got a big pavilion. There's going to be grilling and stuff like that going on. It starts at 9 a.m. and it runs all the way to 9 p.m. So if you're in town, Greenville, you know, early, come on down to the event center right across the road. There'll be a bunch of us hanging out, having a good time.
I'm having a bit of trouble with that link that Cammy dropped. I don't know if anybody else is.
They're having trouble with the link, Cam.
It's like,
Yeah,
I think it's not, I don't think it's her. I think it's YouTube trying to redirect it wrong. Yeah, it keeps giving me a proxy issue. Yeah, it's just saying the site's taking too long to respond. I don't know. It could be my computer too. I'm doing a show, so I have 438 tabs open right now.
Yeah, I've been trying to look for this one, you know, online, Flat Earth Festival, Solar Return Festival, and I cannot find it online. It's crazy. It really It's like they're almost making it hard to find, at least for me. And I've heard this even in the chats when Karen will share it in chat. People say, "Well, it's not working." It's like, what do you mean it's not working? This is crazy. This is 2021, you know, not 1998.
Yeah, I've been hearing other YouTubers saying the same thing. They'll put links under their shows or whatever, and people just can't get to their whatever they're linking to. So
well, that's what was going on with this one. It was like it said it in the address line up there, YouTube redirect. So it's like YouTube's trying to keep us from getting out to these freaking sites, or holding it up so long that it causes this timeout that just happened for me 3 times now. So yeah, yay YouTube, you suck. Sorry.
My 4K video downloader will not download YouTube videos now. It just won't. Bob's
wow,
one.
so
Weird.
they're locking
Yeah.
down everything at every point. I mean, it's hardcore to take out links and stuff, isn't it? Shit.
I'm going to try this next link chat and see if this one works. You just shared.
I just clicked it. Yeah, they got me there. Good job. Cam. Thank you, Cammy.
It says hi.
Hi, Kimmy.
Hey, Cammy.
Hi, Cammy.
Cammy, big hugs.
Yeah, big hugs, they said. So yeah, if you're in the area, I know David Weiss is having a meetup in Connecticut, but he said if you're going to be there's people that want to come from Arkansas to David's meetup. He said, don't. This is going to be a short couple-hour thing. He said, wait and go to Greenville in March if you can, if you have that time off. David will be there, Bob and Cammy, me, Karen, Ted, Brian, Mark Sargent's coming out, Zulu One will be there, Baldini possibly, it's going to be awesome. Rose and Jason will be there. It's going to be the family. It sucks I don't get to have Walt and Josh and Lucas. Lucas, get your Searle generator going already.
Just working on the flux capacitor.
Yeah, if you've never been around, a couple hundred like-minded people, there's nothing like it. Nothing. And Walt, you've been to the conventions.
Oh, yeah. It truly is an amazing experience just to be with
the
people
electricity
that know
there.
some stuff.
Yeah. And like David said, it's some of the best people that you'll ever meet. You could drop a wallet with $5,000 in it, leave it there for 8 hours, and somebody's going to find you and return that with all the money in it. That's just how, it is. It's like we're one big giant family. Yeah, it's a really good time. So I hope to see you all there. I'm getting excited. Yeah, we gotta get you guys out to one of these things.
Who knows? I may talk to Jason. Jason and Rose about, helping contribute to the trip and getting out there with you guys. It's already, when they were on the show and we talked about the event with Karen, it kind of went through my mind there. So I may do it this time. I just felt, uncomfortable imposing on other people. I've never liked to impose on anybody else. I'm always the one trying to help and get everybody where they need to be. So, but definitely, I'm aching to be there. So this may be the one where I pull the trigger.
Fans
you
of
never
Jason
know, Walt.
Lindgren.
He'd probably throw you in with the speakers and the guitars. and
right. That's what I figured.
Sit in the background.
Exactly. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Put your rope, a black shirt with white, the white writing. That's it. Jason's roadie. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be doing his first live set ever.
I know. That's the other reason I'm excited, man. I want to see him jam.
All originals. Yeah. I can't wait.
I know.
So cool.
Ben Flat in the chat wants me to drive through Pensacola and pick him up on the way. You might want to talk to Jonathan. He's in your area more than I am. Is he coming? I know we've asked him a couple times. Has he ever said yes or no? I don't remember.
He was thinking about it, I know for sure.
He's got a lot going on. I know where he's at, though. So. But definitely, I'm working on it, guys. I really am.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome time. I can't wait. And we need this kind of stuff now more than ever.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, so isolated from anyone. They don't want anybody touching or being with them. You know, you can't even share your magnetic field. They want you 6 feet apart. It's crazy. Yeah, or you come to this place. If you need to, you can wear a mask. If you know, you may get some funny looks, but I guarantee 99% of the people there are not going to be wearing masks. They're going to be giving hugs and shaking hands, and you know, it's going to be like it should be, at least for a couple days, and then we can go back to this, whatever this is that we're all in right now. So yeah, if you need some of that, come on down. It's going to be a great time. So we didn't even scratch on space lettuce at all, really.
Space lettuce?
I was just thinking that as well, yeah.
We got a minute or two. We could probably dig something up. I cannot find the story I was talking about. I see the quote, but it's in one of those articles that they want me to subscribe or give them $3 or whatever. That's starting to happen more and more and more with our little news feeds, or mine anyway. I see something I'm interested in, I click on it, I read it for about 2 seconds, and then some pop-up comes up like, yeah, no, you're not reading this till you subscribe or give us $1 or give us your email or whatever. And so, you know, I've got so much junk in my email coming at me now, I'm done with all that. So I cannot get the actual, but I mean, literally in the, you can see it in quotes. It's like watching a science fiction movie. But I
And
can't.
you used to be able to sometimes like still read a little portion of it, so you just like scroll up slowly. But now they've covered it with
No, they
the
lock
whole
it together, lock
screen.
it behind the
Can't
screen.
touch the back of it. Yeah.
Sale.
Yeah, I was listening to Dave Glover the other day, yesterday, maybe the day before, talking about the touchdown. They're on Mars, and they actually effing said it. It wasn't verbatim Elon Musk, but it's like it was so pretty, and it was just so beautiful that it looked like it was fake. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Really? They pulled that line again?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was surprised. I even pulled up the audio. I saw that they were beamed back the first sounds ever recorded from the surface of Mars. And you probably didn't notice it, but I was playing them earlier. But you probably didn't realize that it was sounds from Mars because it just sounds like somebody's got an open mic. It does. It's like the wind blowing across. No, it doesn't really sound like. I mean, maybe it's like this. Wait. And that's it. About 90 seconds of that 2 or 3 times.
And that's the sound of NASA. I mean, of Mars.
Of Mars.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So does Elon know that the video, like the, you know, the one that looked like a 1990s video game, he knows that that wasn't real, right? Is Elon that retarded?
Well, it looked so fake, so it must be real.
Well, yeah, but it was, I mean, did they send a backup capsule to record it while it was descending from above? He knows that that wasn't a real video, I'm hoping.
Of course he knows it's not real because, you know, he sent that car up into space.
Well, the way he's saying is like, well, it looks so fake. It's like, Elon, it is fake, man. There's no camera up there recording that thing. This is CG, 100% CGI, all of it. There is nothing above the capsule watching it descend down to Mars. That's all CGI, Elon. I wonder if he doesn't know that. I question it. I'm putting him and Don Pettit almost in the same boat. They might actually believe this stuff.
Well, think of all the people that don't even question it. That fourth wall type of thinking. Because they're just so used to taking in information from the television, they never question the camera angle. They never question why there would be a camera there in the first place. How did a camera get there? Well, they're showing me on TV, there's got to be a camera there. Or they just don't ever
it's
think.
equivalent to looking at yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you know, without a mirror. You can't do it, folks. You can't stand over in the corner and watch yourself over here. I don't know. Yeah, Elon might be that dumb. No, I'm joking. He knows it's all fake. He's got to. Or he's Don Pettit's brother or something like that. And they're like really, really, really inbred.
That's it. Sorry, Callum Wilkinson hit it down the nail. They think the camera is them. They do. They think because that's the point of view. They think
that's probably right.
Isn't that nuts?
I love it.
They do. They think they are that camera, and that what they don't even comprehend that there was a camera there. They're seeing it with their own eyes. That's what they believe.
Oh, that's legit too, isn't it? All right. Well done, Callum.
That was great.
So this afternoon, we're not going to have any guests on. Last week was such a barn burner, and the Valentine's Day show before that, we just decided we needed to take a breather, adjust, maybe even get a little backstory there for the backup channel, since we don't ever really do much there. Well, look who managed to make it back with 7 minutes left in the show.
Oh, cool. I
You
fell
were
asleep.
snoring so bad, dude.
You could hear it, right?
No.
No.
We figured you went
I
to
just
go
came
put
on. I just came
calamine
back
lotion
to
on.
say, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Oh my!
True.
What movie is it?
True, man. That's real true.
That's it.
Truman Show Experience, or whatever it's called.
So, are you going to be coming in March 27th to the
God
Solar Ring?
willing, I will. God willing. I say, you know, God decides I'm there, but I'm open to it. I'm amenable. I can only commit to the present moment. You know what I mean? But if things line up and I'm working money, I will definitely be there. Is that fair?
That's fair.
I would very much like to be there.
Speaking of being there, sir, you gonna hang out with us this afternoon, or you have plans?
You know, I have. I'd have to check my itinerary. I know I had plans, but plans keep changing. What's going on this afternoon?
We're gonna just kind of have an in-house hangout. We've had like Josh said, we had a barn burner last week, so we're gonna just hang out with us. Maybe open lines a bit. You know, just chill.
If you remind me, what time's it at?
It's about 12 hours from now, or I guess 11.
Oh, it starts at 7 o'clock tonight.
6. It would be 6
for you. For
It's
you.
on this channel. This channel.
Yeah.
For you.
We use Zoom. We'll just send you a link.
All right, you got it.
Shout out to Allison in chat looking for some camera tutorial. We definitely are going to help you out there, Allison. We just haven't gotten around. We should have done it this week, but everything was kind of crazy. Me being sick and just whatever else is going on. So, but definitely we'll get you some little bit of training I have. We need to get Alex back with you. He's the man with the camera.
Yeah, I need to go look up some YouTube videos. I don't know nothing about nothing when it comes to cameras.
Well, I played with mine a little while when I first got it. You know, did some little action shots with the grandkids with their bikes and on their helmets and that kind of crap. But as far as the, you know,
she's got a list of accessories.
Version.
She's got so many different knickknacks and odds and ends and things that came with it and ways to connect it and straps and bubbles and
like Rector says in there in that box that I got anyway. So I'm sure hers looks about the same. Just all kind of little pulls and twists and attachments and click in and click out. Like, okay, now where do I put all this?
You really need one of those books that is specifically for your camera now. There is no like universal camera teacher guide anymore. You know, they're so different from brand to brand and style to style. I bought one for my book, or for my camera, and it was like 270 pages, but you know, it told me how to do everything in the every button, every function, everything. But yeah, it was just for the P610 and the P900. Those are the only two cameras it covered. You know, so every camera is different, and will have different functions, and they upgrade and do all kinds of stuff. So yeah, you need to find someone with the same type of equipment that you have. I don't think I'd be much help. I've never had a GoPro or anything like that. Now, if you had a P900, I could probably help you out a lot. But yeah, I don't know the GoPro stuff at all. Never played with one. We are slowly rolling up to the very end here.
2.5 minutes.
Liz in chat asking how many people are actually not paying attention to the Mars thing, or how many are paying attention to the Mars thing. Not many, it seems. You know, I saw on Twitter someone saying that it's probable that the reason everything is focusing on Mars now is because everybody's gotten pretty wise to the fact they have a phone that can almost see the surface of the moon. And if we go back to the moon, they can watch with their phone or their camera or their telescope and see that there ain't a freaking thing happening up there while it's going on TV. It's kind of hard to look at Mars like that. So it could be that that's why all of a sudden the big focus on Mars instead of us getting back to the moon.
It's also interesting the timing, because Mars is associated with Aries, and we're coming into Aries.
Right.
So, you know, you got Mars and Rams and that sort of thing. So
part of their spell
and
work.
I also, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And when they brought out the COVID stuff, they showed a similar sort of with the red, and it was like Mars. So yeah, they have the timing things.
I never even thought about that. Them focusing on certain colors while certain planets are, you know, influencing us. Maybe that amplifies it somehow. Frequencies, and I don't know.
Yeah. Allison says it's associated with war, but in some of my research, Mars was actually the protector of truth. So it was the guardian, you know, so warlike, but more like a protector. So just a little bit of a different bent on the war idea. So the guardian of truth.
Maybe it's telling us that, you know, Mars is always at war because there's always people trying to hide the truth. I don't know. It's kind of popped in my head. You know, maybe it's considered a god of war because there's always a war on the truth.
Yeah,
But
that's
Mars
a good point.
Yeah, it's never-ending defense, always being sieged upon.
And in the Vedic, the Mars character. Oh, sorry.
Look at that. Right up to the very
next
end.
time.
What an exciting show. Thanks so much for hanging out with us this morning. A pleasure as always. Thank you, Jonathan. Thanks, Lucas. Thanks, Zach. Thanks, Walt. And thank you all out there in chat. Love you. We will see you right back here on Tuesday for another episode of the Ironworx on TFR. Love you. Bye-bye.